Who can beat Allen? That's the key. That brings us to where we are. We're here at the last 2 weeks. I feel a great momentum going. We've done all the polling. We know where we are in those polls. I know Alan's friend, staffer back here, he's done their polling, and they know they think, what do you think? You're 8 points up. But there, Alan's got his own poll going, but that's the guy we want to try. We want to try to offset that 8-point gain that he thinks he has against Oliverio. But whoever it is, we want to bring back a different approach to the culture in Washington. What we've been talking about is changing the culture in Washington, changing very quickly. Things like reading bills. You make sure that you have 72 hours, at least 72 hours before you pass a bill. How simple that is, but that's not the way it operates. Read the bills. Give us time to do it. Post them on the internet so more people like you, everyone, can have a chance to understand what we're going to vote on and get the input. Today's society is a lot different than it was years ago. We've got a chance for a lot of people to put input and listen to what they're saying. But at the end, what we're primarily trying to do by getting back in this campaign after having not been involved in politics for 14 years was find a way to get our people and our neighbors back to work, get our children, having them where they've had to disappear from West Virginia because our manufacturing jobs have lost here because of the EPA and other regulations, that they come back to West Virginia. I can't think of anything better. If I just serve 1 or 2 terms, if I can start to see that turnaround to where people, 3 terms, whatever that is, whatever, short term, because I believe in term limits. I don't think we should be having career politicians. I'm not that for the Congress. I don't think that's right. So get people in, turn it around to where we're at checks and balance to what's happening under Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid and Obama. Get a checks and balance to the system where people can get back to work. We can address things that are common sense. And I want to use my support that I've had, that we've gained over the last few months. I want to couple it with how we run our business, because there's no one in this campaign has ever had as successful an operation. With the number of jobs we've been able to create, what we've done in investing in West Virginia and trying to make a difference, we want to take all that energy, that passion that Mary and I, we want to take that to Washington and see if we can't do the same thing there that we've been successful in our own private lives. We think it's time to have a difference in what we're doing. So that's the long and short of it. My wife's a nurse, has been a nurse at a local hospital, and like many of you, we've experienced the highs and lows. Mary knows that, or you think that life is always good. After 28 years working at a bedside hospital, critical care, Mary was let go. So we understood how that pain is when you're surprised, caught off guard, let go. And Mary, we rallied. We've done some things. We set her up as a consultant. Now she travels all across America as a consultant in critical care nursing. She's going to places that she's never been before. None of us have ever been before. But to be able to say, we're not going to be defeated. We've got a mission. We're going to bring this thing back. We're going to take it one step at a time. If they're going to hurt Mary, then we're going to respond back, and we're going to be even stronger. And that's where we want to take with this country. I thank you again for introducing me, Fred, to this, and Donna, because this has been my Bible. This has been, and I don't mean that in an inappropriate sense, but I've used this thing time and time again to be able to talk about how we have to stop this spending and get back to the fundamentals of what this country is, so that we're not driving to debt anymore. So with that, I'd like to answer any questions. I've just got a whole host of information that like you can't imagine how many clippings people have given me, or comments or so, or over the last 5 months. Yes, Fred?
I've asked the other candidates to start this off with, but one thing that made me extremely angry when during the debate on cap and trade, or debate on the healthcare, I would call Alan all hands office, and I called every of his offices in the state, and I would always get the answer, he hasn't decided yet. He doesn't know where he stands. Well, on the healthcare bill, the first House bill, I'd read it and I knew what was in it. I actually took my time and read through it. I don't believe he did. I think he was bluffing me off because he's waiting to see what the vote comes down. When the vote comes down, which way he can go. Which is Nancy Pelosi going to let him vote for it or against it? That's how I felt. I feel that. The last thing, my question to you is, when I call the office, can I get a straight answer? When there's only 2 or 3 days left on the vote, can I get a straight answer from you about where you stand on the vote?
But the answer is, of course, you're gonna get a straight answer. I've been there. I've been tested, okay? I wasn't reelected for 7 terms in the legislature by misleading people. They trusted my vote. They trusted things that I was doing, because we often would have public meetings when I would come back from Charleston. So we talked about bills. We talked about what we were doing in the legislature. We would give them updates on what's going on, so that people understood where we were. And we got the questions from people. I understand this is coming up, or how are you? And we answered it. There's no sense. I'm not in this for a career. If I do something wrong, then I don't belong there. I should be voted out. If you don't, I just want to get there and solve the problem. And I want to be able to talk to you. The answer is simply yes. Of course I'm going to talk to you. And I'm going to tell you where. That's probably one of the biggest reasons that I have a problem with Alan right now. And it manifests itself as well over with Byrd and Rockefeller. You all may not have heard that Dick Morris was in Wheeling 2 nights ago. You know Dick Morris, you hear him on Sean Hannity sometimes. He gave an example that's an analogous situation that was going on in Nevada a few years ago. That they were going to take spent fuel rods, nuclear fuel rods, and they were going to take them out to the Yucca Mountains in Nevada. You remember any of that? You remember some of that? Some of you I see nodding. But what they were concerned about was that would destroy their tourism industry if they knew that state literally glowed at night by burying those nuclear rods underground. Harry Reid went to the Oval Office and just said, stop it. Long before the vote was cast, stop it. Because I've got the power, he said, to stop an awful lot of your legislation in the Senate. Stop it. And they did. They did. They dropped the program. Now, let's fast forward to today. Why isn't, or why aren't, Rockefeller and Byrd, the governor over in the Oval Office, simply telling him, it ain't going to happen. There are enough coal-producing states in this country. We're not going to pass. Don't do it. Cap and trade will kill the economy of West Virginia. Stop it. Don't try to amend it. Don't try to clean it up. Stop it. There's where I thought Alan should have been. With 28 years of seniority, thumping his chest of all the responsibility, stop the bill. Don't wait until the end. Don't wait for a vote. I know how the process works. You could have stopped it in committee. You could have stopped it with the speaker. You didn't need to do that. But it passed. Our next thing is to see if Rockefeller and Byrd will have the strength to go to the Oval Office and say, no, don't do it. Because if it comes to a vote, I'm telling you, that means they didn't go to the Oval Office to stop it. So, that help it? If we can stop it, that should be stopped. Yes, sir.
Fred's comments earlier, I take it you are a pro-gun Second Amendment supporter. Would you elaborate on that?
The Second Amendment?
Yes.
Rock hard on that. I think when I was in the legislature, I haven't seen the NRA ratings come out yet, but when I was in the legislature, I think I would go A or A plus, whatever it was. I can't imagine that I was ever anything less than that. They always endorsed my campaigns to the legislature. We had numbers of votes that were cast along that line to be tested with that. That's my track record. It's not what I'm saying. A lot of people are out there talking things. That's where, as anyone can say anything. I got a record that shows what I've done, and you know, if you check with the NRA, you'll find out I'm just solid on that. Absolutely, I'm bending on it.
But I hear it from your mouth.
Any other questions?
Where do you stand on the UN?
I'm sorry?
Where do you stand on the UN?
I think it's a great humanitarian program. I don't think that America should ever allow any of its troops ever be under the control of any UN official in the military. We're America. But I think there are times, like in Croatia, where they were used there after it got claimed, to put in a neutral body, so it's not America. I don't want America fighting every war, every place, every hotspot, all across this world, this globe. But I think there are times that the UN can step in and be that officer. But it's becoming increasingly difficult. I wish there were another vehicle for debate. I don't know of another vehicle. I'd like to see us cut back on some of our funding so the other people could contribute to it. But I don't know how else to have conversations, if you're going to have those, to be able to have some dialogue with other countries. I don't trust one-on-one conversations necessarily, but I would hope in the open that they would do it. So I would continue with the UN, but I would certainly make sure that we're never, as a country, subservient to any of their obligations, and their rules and their regulations don't apply here in America. And that has been suggested by some countries there. Am I not correct? You've heard it, where they want us to abide by certain world courts. No, thank you. This is America. Yes, sir. No, behind.
We were talking about NRA, and I'm a hardcore NRA man.
Good.
I'm a hardcore red, white, and blue man. But I've told some in this group at some other meetings I've been in. Last September, you might recall the Freedom magazine that came out, and it had a masked individual on the front, and it said, if you believe the government might ban guns, if you believed in Heller versus D.C. that affirmed our right to bear arms, if you're an NRA member, you might be a suspected terrorist. And of course, I took it a step further, saying my wife and I are also concealed carry people. And of course, last night we learned, because we have adamant feelings about those people who come across our borders illegally, that we might be racist too. And with that in mind, what do you think about this illegal immigration situation?
I wish we had more states that had the courage of Arizona. This is an opportunity for us to really speak out. It's got to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. Do whatever it takes to stop the illegal immigration. Okay? That goes as far as I think we might even talk about it here. People that, when they come over here and are working illegally and probably working at sub-wage, because everyone's a wink, wink, and a nod, that those companies that are hiring illegals are getting an advantage on their bottom line by hiring illegals. I think they ought to be identified. We know they know who they are, and they should be fined. Anyone that's knowingly hiring an illegal immigrant should be fined, and fined severely, and they'll stop. Secondly, I don't think it's right. I know it's on the Constitution, but it's in the regulation or statute. Just because illegals can come over here and have a baby, that baby should not be an American citizen. I don't think that's right, because then you've got the people saying you're deporting an American if you make them take the baby back. Shouldn't be. If you're having a baby here, if you're illegal, then that baby's just as illegal as the rest, and they have to go back. Stop the illegal immigration. Punish the people that are taking advantage of the situation and hurting the rest of us that are competing in the free market in a fair way, being tested on it. Don't allow those people to have an advantage. Is that okay? Yes, sir. How about your